Welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2026 The Mandalorian and Grogu Allies and Villains Brickheadz set. It's set number 40856 with 661 pieces and a shocking retail price of $40. I say that because LEGO recently increased the base price of your singular Brickheadz from $10 to $13. However, in this multi-pack, the equivalent of 4 full Brickheadz, because 2 of them are half Brickheadz, they are still charging $10 each. It's a very rare W for LEGO Star Wars and its pricing. Inside, we've of course got an Anzellan, Imperial Remnant Snowtrooper, the Mandalorian, Grogu, and Colonel Ward. It's a good character selection, although I definitely wish there was maybe one more villain in lieu of the Anzellan, or maybe in addition to, but either way, I think Embo would have been a perfect addition into the set, and not having him here is definitely a disappointment off the bat. But as to what we see in the box, well, everything else inside might just be great. On the back of the box, it just shows the characters on their little display stands, and that's it. So cutting into the box and pulling out the contents, we're going to find numbered bags 1 through 8, as well as a unique instruction manual for each of the Brickheadz inside. So this is an easy build to split up between 5 builders, but it also makes it easy for someone to buy this set, pull out what they want, and then sell the rest very easily. So there's a couple different reasons the way this is all split up is really good for everyone involved. The first Brickheadz we'll look at in the set has to be Grogu. He is super cute, and they did a great job with him. They do include 3 of the little cookies, which I feel like is too many. Like, technically, he can hold 2 of them. However, then you're still left with an extra one, and it's not like there's a spot for his stomach or anything that you can open up and put a cookie in or in his mouth. There's no spots like that, so I think 3 was 1 too many, maybe 2 too many. I guess they're just accounting for possible loss on your cookies during your display, or maybe a kid playing with it, so that makes sense. But as far as like as the set comes with 3 cookies, yeah, don't display it like this. It looks silly to have them on the ground to me. We've got his armor nicely printed on a 2x3 tile here with some extra folds in the clothing and the strap, so good detail for his torso. They use the ingot piece on the side of Grogu to represent his satchel, which I think is pretty smart. And speaking of pretty smart, Grogu is going to have a brain. So if you pull this off, there's a little pink brick inside, and you're actually going to find that inside of all of the Brickheadz. They will all have a pink brick inside of them to represent their brain. So I'll just show the Grogu one as the one example, but yeah, that's going to be something you will see throughout these Brickheadz. Ears look good and everything. We can pull him off the stand, of course, and he looks pretty solid. And I think it's interesting if you compare this to the older Grogu Brickheadz, which actually did come with a pram, but we'll ignore that. There's no pram with this new one. We'll do old on the left, new on the right, of course. And they're very similar. This is very much a, you can copy my homework, but don't make it too obvious type of deal for the Brickheadz build, like this angle especially. Everything's the same except they color swapped the piece there, and technically he's holding the cookie, right? But these builds are very similar. So you're not getting a huge upgrade for Grogu here if you've already got this one, unless you really need the armor and a cookie. Why are you bothering? One last thing on Grogu. While there's not like empty space to store a cookie inside, they've represented the cookie in his stomach with blue there, and then they kind of try to show it like he's hiding another cookie in his hood or something. So they definitely implement the blue inside quite a bit with Grogu, which is cool. Next, we've got Mando in his Beskar armor, looking really sleek here. He's got a few printed pieces, 2 for his helmet design, just helps the curvature on the front a lot, and then 1 on the side with the Mudhorn insignia for the shoulder armor. Looks really, really solid. Very, very nice looking Brickheadz. The visor looks good, nice T-shape to it. He's got a simple Brickheadz style blaster. We've seen this style many a times before. Good detailing on the belt, of course, and the legs, and then on the back, he's got a little jetpack, which is removable, but there's nothing to replace it with, so there's not much of a reason to remove it with. It's not like you could, I guess you could like build out the cape or something if you wanted to, but it's not included, right? So this is how it is. So I would definitely leave the jetpack on for the display. I'll bring in the older one to compare again from 2020, and you'll of course see a lot of similarities in the build, especially the helmet looks pretty much the same to me, just with a few pieces color swapped here and there, and then the print design looks basically the same. There's just a little less light gray showing through on this newer version. It looks like it's a better print, but of course that could just be a one-off in either way as far as the actual set that I got the print on. Anyway, the torso and everything much different, the coloring much different, just because it's a updated version of Mando from later seasons, and of course I guess in this case exactly the movie. But yeah, it's a nice Mando Brickheadz. If you wanted a different style of him, he looks nice. The old one looks nice too, and I don't see like a need to upgrade necessarily if that's the way you're looking at it, but to have them both side by side, sure. We've got the Anzellan next. He's pretty cute. They did a decent job with him. You know, a Brickheadz Anzellan is definitely going to be one of the worst looking ones of all time, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think he's pretty funky, but hey, maybe that's what people that like Brickheadz are into at the end of the day. He's got a wrench. He's got a magnifying glass on the top, which does actually work as a magnifying glass. You'll see it magnify Grogu's eye here, so it does work. It's a real magnifying glass in a Lego set. It might be the first time they've ever included one in the Lego Star Wars set. I wouldn't know that for sure. No, there's no way like one of the Death Stars didn't have that. I don't know. This might be a first year for Lego Star Wars. Let me know in the comments if you can think of a set that actually had a magnifying glass before. But anyway, I'm like okay with this one existing, but I would have rather had Embo in lieu of him. I just don't care that much. I know people love the Anzellans, and I do too. Like the minifigure Anzellan's awesome, but the Brickheadz Anzellan doesn't speak to me the same way. I guess I'm going to end up saving the best for last, because next we have Colonel Ward, who is not last or best, but yeah, she's a pretty boring Brickheadz in my opinion. She's got a cup of coffee, she's got the New Republic logo printed on the side of her, you know, printed Brickheadz eyes. There's nothing that exciting about this one, and her character was not very exciting in the movie, so I literally do not care about this at all whatsoever. Embo would have been much more exciting than having her here. I don't care about her, but they did a good job representing her in Brickheadz form, I guess, but like, I don't know, does anybody actually care about Colonel Ward Brickheadz? Would have rather had Embo here. Lastly, I've got the Imperial Remnant Snowtrooper, and they definitely made the right choice leaving that face cover off, so we've got a bit of a unique style Snowtrooper here, and they can leave the door open to do an Empire Strikes Back version of a Snowtrooper in the future that'll look a lot more unique to this, and this looks a lot more unique to that. I love the way this looks. Here's a closer look at that detail around the mouth. I think that looks fantastic. And then, of course, the torso detail with a more standard Snowtrooper look there. It looks great, too. Again, printed. No stickers, in a $40 Brickheadz set. Like, it's crazy they get all printed pieces, but it's awesome to see that quality here for sure. We've got quite a bit of tan wrapped around the bottom of the Snowtrooper, I believe to represent the Kama there, of course. Another one of those Brickheadz style blasters in his hand. Some nice detailing on the back for like a little Snowtrooper backpack, I think. And then the helmet overall looks pretty solid with like nice eye design. And then the rest of the helmet looks pretty solid overall, but the shaping I think is a little funky at the top, a little jagged. I wish it was a little more smooth coming down, so there's a little awkwardness to it, but I just love that it's a unique Imperial Trooper Brickheadz, and so that's probably why it's my favorite here, because the other two are rehashes, and then we've got a couple of like boring ones to me, and then we got this guy. This guy's just cool. I'd say it's a nice enough Brickheadz set, and certainly the price is more than fair at $40. It just feels like it's missing some characters, like Zeb, Embo, a jacked Rotta the Hutt, although how the heck would they even do a Rotta the Hutt Brickheadz? Who knows, but it would have been wild to see. There were some other options that I think fans would have liked a lot more than Colonel Ward and even the Anzellan, right? So I wish they had replaced those with some of the cooler characters from the movie. But yeah, if you like what you see, you're not going to have a bad time, but I feel like this set could have been a lot cooler than it is. And so for me, it's like a 6 out of 10. I just don't care very much for this one. I could have lived without it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. You can check out more of my 2026 LEGO Star Wars set reviews on the end screen now.